Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey and today this is the bracelet that I will be making. Most of the pieces on this bracelet came from the April 2022 bargain bead box and I'm very happy with it. I love the earthy tones of the beads and I'm just in love with that clasp, the hammered details of it. It's so big and it just lends itself to be a huge part of the design. And I am very, very happy with this bracelet. So if you would like to see how this bracelet came about, then stay tuned. All right, so let's jump right into it. I'm gonna start by very quickly going over the tools that I will be using today. And first thing, I will be using 2 sets of chain nose pliers. And I will be using my set of cutters. It's all part of the same tool set, which I will link below. I highly recommend investing in your tools. Certainly if you make as much jewelry as I do, I just believe it's worth the investment. And I will be using my crimping pliers. Also, I will be using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright, which is this silver color. I always get the 100 feet because I go through it so quickly. Everything that I'm using today that I did not get in the bargain bead box, I will certainly link below. All right, so I have 2 strands that I've already cut. That's just a little over 10 inches long because I like to have enough space on either end to finish it off. So here's how we are going to start it. All right, so we put on a jump ring, a crimp tube, and a wire guardian. Put it through one end, wrap it around, and put it through the other. All right, and you want to make sure that jump ring goes up inside that wire guardian, and you want to make sure your crimp tube has both sides of the wire going through it. All right, I'm going to pinch that wire guardian closed with my fingers. All right, and then I'm going to separate these wires so that they don't get crossed inside the crimp tube. And then I will pull this one down so that it is nice and snug. Make sure those wires are separated. All right, I'm gonna grab my crimping pliers and go in that second divot. Give it a good smash. Get that taco shape. Turn it on its side. Go into that first divot, give it another smash. Then I like to go into that flat part at the end of the crimp tube and give it that final smash. That way it's nice and snug. I'm gonna hang on to that jump ring, take that crimp cover, place it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, and then flip it over. And I'm gonna take my chain nose pliers, give it a good smash, and then I'm gonna come around to the front, give it a smash in the front so that it curls in a little bit. All right, and it gives that illusion of the first bead. So now it's just a matter of the order of the beads, and we're going to do a simple back and forth between the bicones and my spacer beads. So I'll put 2 on here. And go down to that other end where I can tuck that tail in. All right, and here is the pattern for this side. I'm going to repeat this about 4 or 5 times. All right, so here is this side of the bracelet. Now I'll show you how I'm going to do the center component. And it's going to be a simple back and forth between these larger spacers. These I've got in my own stash. And then these rondelles that came in the bead box. So we're going to have spacer, rondelle, spacer, and we will repeat this about 3.5 times. All right, so here is that center component, and now we're going to do the same pattern that we did over here with the bicones and spacers on this side. All right, so here is the completed strand. So now we will close it off. We're going to put a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. Put it through one side, wrap it around and put it through the other. And of course, just like on the opening, you want to make sure that jump ring goes inside the wire guardian and that both ends of the wire go inside the crimp tube. So now we're going to pull that tail a little bit, and we're going to tuck that tail inside a couple of these beads. Then we'll take that tail and pull it on down. And I like to let my bracelet kind of hang and bend when I'm closing it off because you want it to be snug, but you definitely want it to have some flexibility. So I'm going to kind of, curl it off here where it's resting, but you want to have it a little snug. So I'm going to pinch that wire guardian shut with my fingers. Give it a little extra tug. And now I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot. Give it a good smash. You have that taco shape, turn it on its side. Into that first divot, give it another smash. And then I like to go in with that flat part at the end and give it the final smash. I'm going to hang on to this jump ring. I'm going to take this crimp cover and place it right on top of the smashed crimp tube. And then flip it up. Take my chain nose pliers, give it a good smash, and then I'm going to take it front to back. And give it another smash so that it curls in a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to go in with my cutters as close as I can. Cut off the tail. And where I cut off the tail, I'm going to kind of shove it into that next bead with my nail. All right, so here is that first strand. All right, so here we go. We've got the other end started. And if you need a reminder on how to start the bracelet, you can certainly back up in the video to the first strand. So the pattern for this one is going to be bicone, and these matte faceted bicone beads that also came in the bead box, and then a simple back and forth between these spacers and the clear faceted bicones. So we want to go down to the other end, tuck all of that in the tail. So minus this smaller bicone, we're going to repeat this pattern 2.5 times. All right, so here is one end, and now the center component. I'm going to use these elongated barrel type beads, and it has that almost spotted pattern on it. I just think these are very beautiful, the kind of rustic looking beads. So I'm gonna put one, and then I'm gonna use my bead caps. So I'm gonna have a bead cap facing up. Then I'm gonna use these 10mm natural stone bead. Bead cap facing down. Then one of the smaller bicones in the middle. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this half of the center component. So bead cap facing up, natural stone, bead cap facing down. And then I'm going to put on this other barrel bead. So there is that center component. And now I'm going to do this exact same pattern that we have on this side over here. All right, so here is the second strand. Now, we'll get both strands in here and we will put them together with our clasp. So we're going to use the jump rings that are already on there. So open that jump ring, one side, then we close that jump ring. All right, and now we grab the other one. Open it. And then we close that jump ring. All right, so here's one side. Here we go. We want to open this jump ring. And then put it through the first hole and close that jump ring. So now with the second one, all right, so now we're going to be putting it in the other side. Just like that. And we're gonna go in there and close that jump ring. All right, so here we go. All right, so here we go. And I just love these toggle clasps. When they're that big and just bold, it absolutely becomes part of the decoration. It becomes part of the bracelet. A lot of times A lot of times the clasp can be just kind of part of the background, something that you don't really see when it comes to jewelry. It doesn't really stand out. But I absolutely love it. I think this turned out really, really nice. All right, so I'm gonna set this up on my display so we can see it a little better. All right, here it is. And I am just very happy with how this came out. I love the earthy, rustic tones in this month's bead box. I like the hammered detail in that clasp. It just lends itself to be part of the design. I love it. I absolutely love the way this came out. All right, so if you liked this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Give me a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this bracelet. How do you think it came out? I absolutely love, love, love reading your comments. You guys are so, so kind. And I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.